Welcome to episode 124, season 3, episode 4 of the Bar is Ankle High podcast, your favorite ADHD podcast that explores life's low bars with wit and wisdom. My name is Katie.
And I'm Garrett.
And, welcome to the podcast. We just had like a 30-minute yap sesh before we got on the recording.
We haven't really talked to each other in a few weeks, so it was like...
It's been a lot of like the texts of like, here's
God.
the quick update, here's the nightmare, and then like...
I feel like mine is just increasingly nightmares, but...
Same.
Side note, did you see that in the Epstein files, there was a press release about Epstein's death written the day before he fucking died?
Yeah. Yeah, I did see that. That was interesting.
I had a good like 15-minute spiral about it this morning because then those pictures come out of him definitely in Israel walking around like nothing's going on, and his Fortnite account was active. And that's when I was like, is everything terrible?
Yep.
We've got Pants Shitter McGee on TV, like just syphilis soup delivering press conferences, and this guy's just fucking walking around like not even no hat, no hair dye, like just sunglasses, like that's a disguise and a beard.
Also the email from like 2013, 2014 to Epstein being like, hey, does Don have dementia?
I didn't see that one.
Oh yeah, somebody was like, yeah, we had dinner last night and he couldn't recognize people that he's known for years, like
love that.
And like actually said the word dementia. Like
couldn't happen to a better guy, honestly.
Yeah.
Have you read the account of
doesn't know that he's shitting his pants though?
I know, that would make it better.
Yeah.
If there was like shame associated with it.
Yeah.
Have you read the account of allegedly why he shits his pants?
Is he cold? Does he want the warmth?
Oh, that was really gross, Katie. Really grossed me out. No. I'm not gonna address it while we record because it's very upsetting. It does have to do with pegging.
Oh, okay.
This is my favorite thing. One of my favorite things that has ever happened on the podcast, you being like concerned and I say pegging and you go, oh, okay.
Well, I mean, obviously it's from him getting pegged. So like,
yeah. It was just really funny watching you go, oh, okay.
Well, cause I was going to like horrible things that people do to children world. So like,
oh, it is
so
that.
Oh,
it's also that.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, these files have been, wow, it's a lot.
Yeah, I did like the tweet that said R.I.P. QAnon. You would have loved the Epstein files.
Oh, truly. And I think that's the most. It's not the most upsetting component, obviously, of this, but it is also like, hey, y'all, everything you said is true. Shouldn't you be happy?
They're all too busy terrorizing immigrant families and also non-immigrant families.
Yes, families, Americans.
Yeah.
We're just gonna torment Americans. I did make myself feel better last night. I found this guy. I can't remember his name is Isaiah. I want to say it's Thomas, but I'm not 100% sure. And he debates conservatives on the regular and just dunks on them, and it just made me very happy last night.
Is he a British guy?
No.
Oh,
no.
There's
he's
like
American.
a Indian British guy, or like his parents immigrated from India to England, and so he has a British accent.
Mm-hmm.
But he also debates conservatives on the reg, and PK sees a lot of his videos and will share them with me.
I just need to, like, it just makes me feel a little bit better when I see people getting dunked on for not knowing basic information. And, you know, in this time and place, I need a little bit of that.
Yeah. Yeah, really do.
It's a time. Yeah.
It's been a real, soggy diaper of a life lately. Oh, speaking of, I feel like the last time we were recording, you said that you were going to try potty training. How'd that go?
Yeah, she's doing pretty good.
Okay.
We're not like 100%, but like night and nap and stuff, but she's doing really good. And getting to the point where like strictly prefers, like does not like having a pull up on, really prefers to be like in underwear, which is great.
Awesome.
So yeah, she's doing really good. Can't
That's
complain.
cool. Yeah. I also started my seeds. Have you started yours? Or are you just ordering them in this year?
I haven't. I've done nothing.
Okay, cool.
I've done nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Gotcha.
Well, we have a farmer who's going to be here this summer farming. So part of me is also like, if I want to fix, I can go out and help her instead of like having to have it all on me all the time. So I don't know. It's going to be one of those, like, if I have a minute and I'm motivated and I have the energy to do it, I'll do it. But I'm also the thing that I struggle with every year is the timing that seeds have to be prepped. And I've talked about this before where I just have a hard time doing it because of the time of year. I'm also trying to get like 30 projects done in my house at the same time and preparing to return to work full time in the office. So, yeah, I'm trying to get all those done before I am in the office full time.
Fair enough.
Just so that I feel like my house is together.
Mm-hmm.
So, no, I haven't started my seeds.
Oh, okay.
I kind of have a spot for it. Like I did when I was like doing some cleaning and organizing. I was like, well, let me just get the stuff read, like kind of together. So in case I do. So I probably will when I have like a free hour and a half. I'll like, with all the downtime I have, I'll get things set up. I told Katie before we started recording, my toddler had us up at 4:30 yesterday morning and acted as though she was very tired throughout the day, which makes sense because she was, as were all of us. And she was kind of being the worst. So love her dearly. After she napped, she was okay.
Figures.
But yeah,
I've also been struggling with staying awake because I have to, I had to wean myself off of caffeine for my surgery, and I have to stay off caffeine for at least 6 weeks after my surgery. So it actually hasn't been, I thought I was going to have like a horrible headache, but since I really only usually have a cup of coffee, like 1 or 2 cups of coffee in the morning, I just did like a half calf kind of situation. And so now starting today, I'm just fully on decaf coffee.
Oh,
so
but you know what? I feel like even with decaf, you do get a little bit of caffeine, but I feel like it'll give you, part of it is going to be the routine of it and the taste of it. You know what I mean? So that's going to help too, like on a psychosomatic.
Yes. And the
level.
Decaf that I found is by Pete's Coffee, and it doesn't taste as bitter as I expected it to, because I feel like a lot of times decaf gets really bitter. So yeah, but my my Vyvanse is doing a lot of heavy lifting on my consciousness lately, which is a good time because work is a nightmare.
Yeah. I'm also taking a break from weed, which is miserable.
Yeah. Well,
hate that for me.
I will say, with not having caffeine in my schedule, I am sleeping better. So, I mean, Harvard can still eat my dick, but I at least, I guess, I'm sleeping better from it. So like, whatever, losers. But you are muted or something. Garrett broke her mic, folks.
There it is. I moved my mic and I was immediately like, something's wrong. But I was trying not to disrupt anything. So I was trying to...
You did a good job.
Thank you. And all I did was, keep myself muted the whole time. At least you couldn't hear me.
That's true.
Fucking with the mic. Oh, God. So we're doing really well.
We're thriving.
I think that this is just a time where there's a lot to be stressed about and upset about. And I personally, I think that you and I talk a lot about like finding the joy and seeking out and finding enjoyment in things and pleasure in things to spite what's going on and despite what's going on. And it's very hard lately. The onslaught of crises has just made it very hard. So I think there's also that. It's just like, it's the time of year. This is just like the slog. Like, we know every year that this is coming. This is like the hardest part of winter. Getting
this
through
winter
this,
is also like, again, because it's lighter than it was in December, which is good.
Yes.
Except
Beautiful.
for, as we are recording this, folks, the air temperature right now is -7. That's the temperature without the wind chill. Yesterday, the wind chill got to -20, I believe.
And it was like gale force winds.
Yeah, the gusts were up to like 35 or 40 miles an hour.
Our windows were rattling yesterday.
Yeah, and that's what I said to PK, because like I was like, this house is like it's got its problems for sure, but it is a sturdy little cottage, and it was the first time that I could really hear the wind against the house, and I had never really heard the wind before, other than like, okay, there's like a tree that might like rustle or whatever, but like no, the wind was making the windows creak, and I was like, uh-oh.
It was enough wind that we didn't.
I don't have
to
a
clear
solution.
Snow.
Yeah, that's true.
We didn't have to clear snow because it just like blew it. Like my spouse was saying, all of our barns have like a layer of snow in the bottom because the wind was blowing so hard. It was blowing it through the slats of the barn and into the barn. Like it, I mean, it was just like I think we're in a really windy spot anyway. There's wind that comes off the river and comes right up the back field. So it's just like, we're already in a really windy spot. And yesterday, I mean, it was just like, I felt like I was sitting inside. I felt like I could feel the wind. Like that's how cold it was. That like sitting still, like sitting with a heated blanket on and like layers. I felt like when the wind blew, I could feel it still. Like,
which is also crazy so cold. Because like, not that the listeners know this, but like your family room is effectively in a basement. So it's like super well insulated when you think about like where the wind could actually get in, as opposed to like a regular, like if it was on the second floor, quote unquote,
my
first floor of your house.
Like kitchen family room area is like the cartoons of the little bunny that's like in a little hole, and she has like a little apron and she's like making tea, and there's like candles. That is what our downstairs is like. It's just like very cozy, and I feel like a little rodent like in the wintertime when I'm down there. And even then it was like, it was so, and we have a huge wood stove that was cranked from like 7 o'clock in the morning all the way through. And even with it cranked, the warmest it got was like 65.
That's crazy.
In the house because it's just so cold.
Boils you.
Oh yeah. It gets like, I can get it like cranked. And it was like, no matter how much wood I put in there, it's just like not, it's warming. I mean, it's hot.
Yeah.
But it's just like, it's working so hard. It was working so hard to keep things warm. It's been very cold, which I think it does just like, it kind of wears on you after a while. You're like,
oh, for sure.
I just want to not have my fingers fall off.
I think about that anytime I'm particularly cold is how I just simply would not make it if I were unhoused, because I don't have it in me to withstand the cold temperatures, because it really does. It makes you so like, that's why when you have a fever that breaks, you get so tired because you're shivering from the chills. And it just wipes you out. It's the worst. So yeah, it's very cold right now. So to that end, for me, having my little seeds in the basement is giving me like a little shred of hope that spring will come. And I am excited. I'm going to expand my garden this year. Hopefully be a little bit more organized with it. We'll see.
It's hard.
Yeah. I also have to figure out how to fill in the little burrow under our shed. I think I'm going to have to do like the
rocks.
Well, yeah, but the dry ice thing, and then like cover it. And
is it a hog under there?
I don't think so. I think it's bunnies. There used to be a woodchuck or a groundhog of some sort like scurrying through the neighborhood, and I haven't seen that guy in a while. So
that's okay. He's at my house.
But then there was the skunk that Coco took to the face, which I think was a one-off, thankfully. But
and then that skunk also came to my house.
And there was there's just always bunnies, and so I don't know if the bunnies live in that burrow or if they just use it to escape Coco.
And all those burrows get recycled through different types of animals.
Exactly. So we'll see. I don't know. I have to figure that out. But I'm
such an animal lover, but I'm also like, will someone please come commit atrocities to these woodchucks, because they are really the bane of my existence.
Commit atrocities.
They're so bad. They're so destructive. Like, they've dug holes. All of the barns have like huge burrows in the floors.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, it's not just woodchucks. Then we've got skunks using them and fox using them. And it's just like, I hate woodchucks. And I just don't feel like woodchucks are contributing enough good. They're kind of cute, but they're not cute enough for me to tolerate this. Like the skunks, I feel like the skunks will generally leave you alone if you leave them alone, and they're out at night. So I'm like,
and
okay.
they eat ticks, which I like.
Yeah. Like they'll eat stuff. Groundhogs eat things that I'm growing.
Oh, yeah.
So they also dig holes that you'll fucking break your leg if you step in them.
Yeah.
Huge holes.
That's the thing that's how my mom broke her leg on her 16th birthday. She was playing football in their yard. Yeah. She was playing football with her friends in their backyard, and she like turned to catch the ball and like stepped to run with it. And her foot, when she turned to catch the ball, went into a hole. And so then when she turned back the other way, her foot stayed in one position and her leg went in the other one. My mom has some wild injuries.
Groundhogs. She really does.
Yeah.
She really does.
Yeah.
Wasn't there that one day she found a hawk or something too? There was something she had. I think she remember golfing or walking. I just remember that we were all like, "Stay away. You don't have a good track record."
Oh yeah, there was like it was eating a snake or like choking on a snake or something, and she was like, "I think it's choking. I think I should go save it." And I was like, "Could you stop that, please?"
Yeah, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. There are certain times where I'm like, nature needs to take its course. Right. Hawks are also on the list.
David Attenborough would tell you to leave them alone.
Hawks better be glad that they're federally protected. Because I can tell you, we have such a hawk problem. My toddler yells at hawks when she sees them. "Get out of here, hawk." Leave our chickens alone.
That's so cute.
Yeah. But that's also the only predator that has gotten our birds. A hawk killed my favorite duck. And I'm like, still not over it. She
Mozzarella?
was the sweetest. No, my little brown duck last.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
It was in the fall.
Yeah. Are you going to get more ducklings this spring?
My spouse will definitely divorce me if I do that.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. He'll divorce me.
I think that's good incentive for him to not travel a lot for work, because if he's traveling, I think that's the threat.
So let's ADHD things, right? So I ordered I have like a good sized closet in our bedroom, and I ordered like a closet system almost. So it has like hanging space and a few shelves. And, I took like 10,000 measurements in order to make sure I was getting something that fit the space. And it got delivered, and it was appropriate for the space. But he goes, "Okay, if you can just like put pieces of it together, then I'll get it like together the rest of the way and mounted. That way it like won't take as much time to get it." And I was like, I can, 100%. Yeah. I literally opened the instructions and I got all the stuff open, and I was like, I can't do it. Like, I literally texted him. I was like, "Hey, I'm sorry, but I'm overwhelmed and I can't do it." And I like could.
You should have called me. I love that sort of shit.
Oh my God. You know what it was? It was the instructions. It's one of those things that it has like 7 different ways you can configure it. And the instructions were only giving like little bits and pieces. And I was not able to like connect A to B, and was just like, so I had to make him promise that he wouldn't divorce me because there were so many pieces. Because there have been a handful of times, and he will never let me forget. There's been a handful of things over the years that I have ordered that have had no less than 10,000 pieces that he is then required to put together.
I remember before you moved, you ordered some like bar stools or something.
Oh my God. It was it was like a step stool.
Guys, it was like they had shipped her a 2-foot by 2-foot box of Lincoln logs, and just were like, put it together, folks,
with 30,000 screws.
The picture I got, I was like, what the fuck is that supposed to be? Like, there was no indication. It was so, they might as well have just sent you a roll of like wicker threading and said like, you can just whittle this or something.
Do you remember on Schitt's Creek, when David decides that he's going to build a cedar trunk for his cashmere sweaters. Like, that's what it was, right? So, like, I'm expecting something that probably comes in, like, 4 pieces that you have to put together. Because it's a step stool. It's not, it was like a wooden step stool that was, like, kind of cute. And they were like, here's the tree. You need to log and get the tree down, fell the tree, plane all the wood, and bring it to a sawmill. And then cut it down to the right size, and then we'll help you put together this step stool. That's kind of what it was. So he told me yesterday he was considering an annulment because of how horrible it was to put together.
So he's going to say that there was like fraudulent inducement to get it.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. So yeah, it ultimately he did get it mounted and up on the wall, and it looks beautiful, and it's a way better use of space, but it was a real close one. He dropped something and like 5 other things fell, and I had to cover my head because I was like, oh my God, he's gonna kill me. He's gonna kill me. I can't believe I did this.
Man, he should have called me. I would have been right there. I love that sort of stuff.
Our ADHD is doing real good. Really good over here.
Well, I guess we should jump into the topic, why people are here. Are they here for the topic? Who knows?
While we're here. We might as well.
Baby. Mr. Cole has been so brave lately.
Wow, what a brave guy.
So I had sent you this post that I saw on Instagram, but it was talking about the difference in how your native language builds neural pathways in your brain. And the study was published in 2023, and it examined the difference in native German speakers and native Arabic speakers. So they picked German because German is a morphosyntactically complex language. Wow. And I know what you're thinking. What the hell is morphosyntactically?
In my head, I'm like, does that just mean their words are really long?
So
I'm a linguist. I don't know if anybody knows.
I Googled it, and according to Wikipedia, in linguistics, morphosyntactic alignment is the grammatical relationship between arguments, specifically between the 2 elements in English, the subject and object, of transitive verbs, like when you say the dog chased the cat, and the single element of intransitive verbs, like the cat ran away. Now, somehow that's supposed to make sense. It didn't make sense to me, so...
Oh, thank God. No. I'm going to tell you, Katie, I have bad news.
A lot of this, they were like, linguistically, blah, 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 and
not
like
use these
words where I was like, those words don't mean that in any other context. I don't know what you're talking about. So in English, there's a subject which merges the more active part of transitive verbs with the part of the intransitive verbs, leaving the object in transitive verbs distinct. You know, and morphology.
We used to have to like diagram sentences. Did you have to do that?
I swear,
like you underline one thing and then there was like a diagonal.
If they did that at school one day, I either had a doctor's appointment or they just didn't do it. And they only did it for one day. Like, I have no recollection.
They were like, look, she's gone. Now we can talk about it.
The girl who asked questions isn't here. So morphology specifically is when language makes a distinction between case, like capitalization, and agreement, and syntax is word order. So morphosyntactical is using both case and subject agreement and word order together to make a sentence.
Okay.
So, if you don't know, like if you haven't read German as like a native English speaker, it looks like they randomly capitalize words. So that's like the morphology of the language. But also the word order in German doesn't really make sense or doesn't matter as much as it does in Arabic, for example. So,
because like with German, it's my understanding is kind of like Latin in the way that there's like parts of words that mean something and they'll literally just like smash like 10 of them together and that's what it is.
Yes.
Like that's what the word is. It's like very literal in that way.
I talk about that in a bit. But I get a lot of like semi-German content sometimes on my social media because of PK's cousins that are German and live in Germany. And there was one that I shared that showed something like 11 different ways to say the word the or something like that. And they were like, because it's like das, die, die, like it's almost like el and la in Spanish, I guess, but like a lot of them.
So it's just like context based, like which one?
Yeah.
I would never be able to
and
learn.
like, I guess maybe like formal versus informal. I don't know. I haven't gotten that far in Rosetta Stone. But so no matter what language you speak, though, there's a language network in your brain that's the core of language processing for this and the support for your speech network. Mm-hmm. So these two networks exchange information, your language network and your speech network. So I don't remember if we've talked about it on the show, but I feel like I've definitely talked about it in my personal life, and I don't know if I've talked about it with you. But one of my oldest friends was recently diagnosed with MS, so they're navigating that diagnosis. And part of that and living with MS is working on rebuilding the neural pathways in your brain around any brain lesions that pop up, which they've said is like not that hard to do because the brain is so plastic and able to like work around these things.
It's amazing.
So it's the white matter in your brain can take on the job of something else in a different part of the brain if it's needed to, because
like to pick up the slack.
Yeah.
That's
so
amazing.
It's almost like that teaching old dogs new tricks thing. Like you can teach an old dog new tricks. It just takes time because your brain has to build that neural pathway that didn't exist previously. Wow. So the reason that they picked German as a language to compare, it's an Indo-European language. And then they compared it with Arabic, which is a Semitic language. So German has a complex grammar system, but word order is very flexible. German's a language, like you were saying, that uses a dominant root word and then adds onto it as needed. So like Krankenwagen or Krankenhaus. The word Kraken is the German word for sick. So you have like the word for large car is Wagen. So Krankenwagen, and now you have an ambulance. So, and the word
it honestly sounds like how we would be creating a language.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Why create
use
word
many
when
word?
Old word?
When old word do trick.
Exactly. So conversely, though, and this I didn't know, so Arabic is a root-based system in which most words are morphologically complex. So an Arabic word is derived from two or more independently unpronounceable bound morphemes, a root word and a root pattern. Now, I don't know what that means. So
thank God.
The study I was reading was just like, of course. And I was like, yes, of course.
Yeah, you're so right.
Indeed. So the root usually consists of 3 or 4 consonants and provides the core semantic meaning or family of what the word is supposed to be about, while the word pattern is a fixed template, primarily composed of vowels with slots for consonants. Meaning, the meaning of the word depends on the word pattern you use, which is composed of compound morphemes, grammatical information, and phonological structure. So I said basically Arabic sounds like a nightmare for ADHDers because it sounds to me like you can't tune out for even a second or you will be totally lost.
And I would also be fucking up a whole lot.
Yeah. Also, not that it has as much to do with this, but when it comes to like writing a language, Indo-European languages, consonants and vowels correspond to a distinct letter. Arabic orthography or writing usually omits short vowels. So like they'd have a letter for I, but not I, for example, if you're like making that sound.
Okay.
So they omit the short vowels such that the specific word meaning and pronunciation has to be retrieved from the context. So,
I don't know.
And the Arabic writing system also differs from Indo-European languages directionally because Arabic script goes from right to left.
Right.
Is written and read from right to left instead of left to right. And so these differences also lead to distinct activation patterns in the brain. While the right hemisphere reaches a similar activation level to the left side when reading Arabic, it's not the case for Indo-European languages. So when you're reading Arabic, both sides of your brain are involved because so much is dependent on context and interpretation,
right?
As opposed to, and then they like omit all these letters. So even like isn't that interesting?
Whereas like German is so like a logical, which like of course is just such a it's almost more mathematical.
Yeah.
Like it's like an equation. Like, okay, you have this word and now it's this word.
Yes.
Whereas like it seems like Arabic is the complete opposite. It's like
it almost seems
gray
like
area.
So like the Quran is a poem, the whole Quran. It's all written in prose. But it kind of makes sense if you think like you're supposed to have like this emotional reaction to this text. Yeah. And then if it's written in Arabic, you're going to be having this, like, it's about the context. It's about the context in which you're reading it and the time that you're reading it and, what you're going through. So it's just kind of interesting that like compared to like, I don't know, the King James Bible, if you're going to compare religious texts, there's like Psalms that are arguably poems, but the rest is just a story and it's not written in any sort of prose or anything like that. So it was just like one of those things that I was like, that's like I can't imagine trying to read Arabic though.
Oh, I know. And when you think about in terms of like communication differences and like cultural differences between those two, Germans being known for like being very fact-based, like even nothing is like everything's very controlled and efficient. And Arabic culture, where I feel like there is much more like passion behind things and expression. It's like they do seem like very differing, the way that even those languages are expressed in the way you're talking.
Yes.
Is so different. And it like reflects the way that the language, like the words are actually even constructed is like fascinating. That's really cool.
Yeah. So this study found that native German speakers' language centers of their brain were located on the left side of the brain exclusively. Whereas, and having had extremely strong connections within that one hemisphere. Whereas native Arabic speakers had language centers that crossed the lobes of the brain, meaning that they had stronger interhemispheric connections in their brain. So it just goes to that plasticity. And then they also, in this study, they had some hypotheses about folks who were bilingual or trilingual and whether they learned that additional language in childhood or learned it as an adult, and then to what extent that modified their pathways and how it would potentially alter the way that they speak their native language based on these other pathways that they use to use a different language. So it was just an interesting study, but I just thought like, well, it's a brain thing. And like you said, I think there's so much that we are learning about communicating with each other and those types of things, that the idea that a language
like it runs so much deeper than you think.
Yeah.
Like to the way your brain is like the infrastructure in your brain almost. That's wild. It's like it really is not just the language you're speaking, because I think prior to this article, like I just thought, oh, well, some people speak one language and some people speak another. Like everybody's got different communication styles, and there's definitely cultural differences in communication styles.
Right.
But I was not expecting like your brain to actually be different.
A different part of your brain is activated depending on what language you speak.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's really crazy.
Yeah. So
I want to see like that comparison of like every different language.
I know, right? I also want to see the comparison with somebody who's like a nonverbal autistic. Because like the argument that they're using like a different part of their brain to communicate, or there's like some folks who think that it's like a version of like almost like telekinesis and telepathy for folks who are nonverbal autistic, and they're just using a different part of their brain to communicate, but we aren't picking up on it because we don't know how to
have those pathways.
Right.
Yeah.
So
that's interesting.
We'll see. I don't know if they're actually going to like bridge that and turn it into like some autism research, but Maybe
They'll be like
30
nah.
years.
Yeah, exactly. They'll be like, oh, specifically women? That's okay.
No,
we don't need to know about that.
Women don't need to speak. Certainly don't need to write a language. What?
Or read? No. They don't need that. They don't need that.
But yeah, so that was my little short deep dive. The source, the article or the study that I read will be in the show notes if you give a shit. I mean, like I said, there was a lot of language in there about different types of like linguistics things, and I was like,
I was just really relieved when you were like, I don't know what that means. I was like, oh thank God, because I thought you were reading it with the understanding that I was supposed to be like on board, and I got very nervous.
No, I read it and I was like, oh, Wikipedia will explain this, and Wikipedia was like,
isn't that
so
such a terrible feeling?
They're like, the following notations will be used to discuss the various types of alignment. S from soul, A from agent, O from object. Now, note that while labels S, A, and O originally stood for subject, agent, and object, the concepts are distinct from both grammatical relations and thematical relations. And I was like, oh, guess what, Wikipedia? You're not helping.
There is something that just like really takes the wind out of my sails when I'm like, I'll go to Wikipedia for the answer. And I'm like, is Wikipedia too highbrow for me right now that I can't comprehend what is written?
My decaf-addled brain can't handle this, apparently.
How come I can't understand the overview?
I mean, truly, I was like, got it?
Mm-hmm.
If I say yes, do we just get to move on and it's fine? Yes.
No, it's one of those, like, I've asked you like 4 times to repeat yourself and I still didn't catch it. So now I'm just going to smile and nod and follow what everybody else is doing.
Yeah. The point is, you know, you cross your brain hemispheres to talk or you don't. And apparently that has to do with the language you learn as your first language.
It's really wild.
Yeah.
I think also like, but it kind of reminds me too of when, like, especially when we were first starting out and we're doing all this research and it's like, this could be ADHD or a brain injury for like everything.
And then they were like, well, PTSD, I don't know. And I was like, uh-oh, I've been lying the whole time. It's just my PTSD. Whoops.
I knew I didn't have ADHD. I knew I was a fraud. I told you we're doing really well. Our mental health is top notch.
Yep.
I mean, personally, my Zoloft is working overtime right now.
I've had a couple days where I had to bulk up my Lexapro a bit.
Yeah.
You know, I had to go into a meeting at work that I asked for, but I knew it was going to be a stressful meeting.
Yes.
So I took a double dose of Lexapro that day just to help me take the edge off, which it seems like it did help.
Oh, that's good.
You know, I'm still employed, so there's that.
There you go.
Yeah, I didn't say anything in the meeting that got me fired. Yeah, no, there's been a few days where I'm like, ooh, that is stressful. And thankfully, it's too cold outside to go for a walk and clear my head. So got that going for me.
I think, and I think that's part of it too, is like, we're just in this loop of it's so cold that it's like you get home and all you want to do is be the little bunny in the cartoon that's just like snuggled up under the blankets with the candles going and a cup of tea. Like, it's just so the amount of screen time our whole house has had the last month has been bonkers.
Yeah.
Because I just don't know I mean, it's, you know, we're getting a little bit more sunlight, but it doesn't reflect in anything else that's happening. So we're still in this cold snap. So I'm literally just like.
This is when you get the cabin fever from Muppets Treasure Island.
Yes. This is exactly that point.
Yeah.
And it's definitely like there's just some cabin fever going on. So I have to keep telling myself, I'm like, I looked at the forecast and I'm like, hey, we're going to be in the 30s. Which means like every couple of weeks you start to get that, like, you plateau again.
I know.
That's great.
Yeah.
When that happens. So I know it's coming.
Like I said, I'll talk about it a little bit more in the next episode, I think. But like my plans for expanding the garden just from like a vegetable standpoint, but also like a flower standpoint. I'm very excited to just force myself to spend more time outside, I guess, this year, even though the summers have been also brutally hot. So I'll talk about it next episode, but like I'm trying to set up my backyard so that I want to spend time out there and that there's like, because in the evenings we're east facing. So in the evenings, our backyard is just all sun all the time. And then it's setting sun. So you're just blind.
Right.
And it's the worst. So I can't stand it. And
yeah, the back of our house is western facing. So
yeah,
when the sun sets, it is like being on the surface of the sun, and it is blinding, which this time of year, love it. Love it. Right. I can sit outside like an old cat, and I can just sit by the window and the sun can hit me and I can feel alive for a minute. But when it is 9,000 degrees outside, not a fan of that.
No.
And when the sun is also at its peak strength.
Yes.
And you get blinded. Also not a fan of that. So it is hard. And we're also doing the same thing. We're trying to like make it where we have like a spot where we can like comfortably sit outside. And now that my toddler is at the point where she's not quite so dangerous on her feet and she can like self-propel safely. I'm like, oh, maybe now I can actually like be outside and it'll be a little bit nicer than when I'm constantly like,
Well, and like the like just like doing better with like that transition home and having that time where she can still play and, you know, do these things that, you know, like you said, you don't have to monitor the skinned knees quite as much, but also be outside in a comfortable way for you while she's doing that so that it's not like, you know, so you can still have a little bit of decompression time, maybe.
Probably not, but you know. Right now I'm like, okay, home from school. TV? Great. Dinner? Okay. And TV and bed. That's kind of been our routine.
It happens.
And I'm like, you know what? It's the fucking winter. And that's how we're going to have to do it. Because there's nothing, we can't go outside. Yeah. She said to me yesterday, I want to go outside and play. And I was like, no. It's like dangerous cold outside. You can't go outside.
Yeah. The doctor said you can't go outside. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, it's literally like the water for the ducks freezes in like a second. Yeah. It's so cold. And then they just sit outside in the cold. Like they're absolutely insane. They seem to like it. I guess ducks like do better in the cold. I don't know. Chickens are more susceptible to like frostbite.
Coco has been, she just wants to go after her ball in the snow. And I'm like, look, I love this for you.
But also I might die.
Yeah. And then you come at, like, you look at me like, and you hold your paws up and like you alternate because they're so cold. So like, what's the game plan here, girlfriend? Because you don't let me put boots on you. So you gotta come inside.
Oh, that's okay. My dog definitely was outside for 30 seconds and then came in and accused me of locking him out and leaving him out there forever. So,
well,
yeah,
maybe
that's about the base. He deserves it. But no, I didn't, for the record.
It was just about a year ago that he pissed on me through the ceiling. So
it was.
Yeah,
it was just about a year ago. Yes, I agree. He's terrible. He's terrible. He should be counting his days right now because he's terrible and has been terrible. So,
yeah.
You know.
I'm sure he's also counting his days.
Fucking better be. What a good episode closer. You want to bring up groundhogs and hawks too? I can talk about all the animals that I want to off right now.
Oh my God. Well, folks, we will be here again in about 2 weeks, 15 days. You know the drill at this point, and we'll have another episode for you. Until then, there'll probably be some more governmental and social crises, but, you know, do your best to hang in there. And, you know, when in doubt, just like, you know, hop on Duolingo or Rosetta Stone or Babbel or go on YouTube and learn how to speak blah, blah, blah language and try that and, you know, disassociate from the reality for a minute.
Yes. Or talk to your neighbors. Have
a
conversation with your neighbors. Get involved in your local community.
Absolutely. There's plenty of places to do that in your local area. You just got to Google them, more or less. And yeah, so until next week, kill your local groundhog.
And don't send it to my house because the bar is ankle high.
Bye.
Bye.